Van Berlo, number 108. Sorry, Clem being the BNL and Dutch champion, not K Van Berlo. Row 8, we've got Mark Kimber and Killian Meyer. On row 9, Andreas Estner and Giannis Slavinsky. Row 10, Xiao Zhu and Jakub Novotny. Row 11, Louis Henkefent and Laszlo Toth. Row 12, Laurie Lepper and Jonathan Hoggard. Row 13, Jordan Brown Nutley and Kenzo Ertz. And then row 14, Ayrton Simmons starts 27th in cart number 27. So 7 drivers in total, excluded the ones I mentioned. Dean McDonald, Alex Quinn, Zach Falk, Kian Jewis, Axel Charpentier, all championship front runners, all out. Nicholas Scholl was also excluded. And it means on drop scores, by my maths, Jack McCarthy's got 204 points. And his nearest rival is Finn Keneally, who's on 173. But with the drop score system, even if he finishes last in this race now, Jack McCarthy would discount that as a point scoring round. And even if Finn Keneally won, he can't be caught. So essentially, Finn Keneally is looking for second in the championship here, up against Scott Simmons. They came into the day 7th and 8th. They're now looking to finish 2nd and 3rd in the championship table. Matt Suckling has made his way back up to the commentary box. So Tom Gamble's taken this big risk, hasn't he, on putting wet tyres on. Was he the only one you spotted that near the front with wets on as well?
Yeah, I caught it on the corner of my eye, so I thought, well, that's a strange choice to go for. But yeah, he was the only one on the grid as a left that was on the groove tyres, so he's now gone for that decision. As he said, he can't make anything else of it because this is all decided before they come onto the grid, which was probably about 20 or 30 minutes ago. So they looked towards the skies. There may have been a few drops of rain, and that has continued. He may be lucky, in fact, because looking towards the skies, they are a bit darker once more, and it does have the possibility of rain in the air here in Belgium, as it normally does. But Tom Gamble, those tyres, if they don't rain, of course, will go off very quickly indeed, and he'll plummet down the order. But everyone else on slick tyres, ready for this final. As you said, Jack McCarthy has just got to stay out front. He's got to do, in fact, just finish, and he'll be comfortable for the championship. So he can't really be caught. But Finn Keneally, as we know, so quick this weekend, really impressive. Nice way to end his season. But can he get a win? He starts there on the outside of that front row, and everyone doing their final bit of weaving now to get the warmth into those tyres on a chilly day here at the Genk circuit. But for now, we go for the final with Chris Hartley.
What McCarthy has got to do is just make sure he doesn't get excluded. That's the only thing that could ruin it for him now at this stage of the race. So we sensed there'd be some drama, some controversy, but we thought it would be when we got to the final, not before we got to the final. So a big story here breaking in Belgium. Quite a shocked response to it on the social media from some, as you can expect. But here are the drivers that have made it through, and that is the way it is, and this is the race. And it should be an absolute cracking race, this, between McCarthy, McKeely, and one or two others. Eric Staal maybe from the second row. The race gets underway, and Finn Keneally with the bright green helmet there making a perfect start. He's going to go around the outside into turn 1, and he's going to get the lead of the race. There's a bit of a tangle behind, not surprisingly, because it seems to be happening all the time now in the middle of the field. It's been a good start for Jack McCarthy, not the best, because he's second, way out wide there goes Scott Simmons, number 46. That's going to cost him 2 or 3 positions. The track will still be a little bit damp. We've got 1 or 2 still trying to get back on the track, having had their moments at turn number 1. One of them is the 106 cart of Xiao Zhu, who was on pole position for this morning's second chance heat. But Finn Keneally there with an absolutely brilliant start around the outside. Jack McCarthy might be understandable if he was taking it fairly easy in this race in one sense. Just make sure he doesn't cause any dramas or controversy, just drives his own race here. If he does that, he'll switch the number 8 for number 1 next season. Third place and a good start also for number 83, Tamer Kerman-Shashi, from the inside row from 5th, has gone into 3rd place at the end of the first lap of the race. Then it looks like Leroy Jagazar from 6th position is the next one through in 4th. Yes, it is. Eric Staal has slipped back to 5th. Adam Mateki is in 6th place. Mark Kimber 7th. Glenn Van Berlo in 8th place at the end of the first lap of the race.
So fast and frantic as always from the juniors, but Finn Keneally with a fantastic start to storm around the outside in towards turn number 1. He got the perfect jump off the line, and that means Jack McCarthy has now dropped down to 2nd place and already finished, starting to build the lead out front. So a great job he is now doing. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th altogether, which is headed of course by championship leader Jack McCarthy. Tamer Kerman-Shashi is in there. The man now trying to go for a move here is going to go Jagazar. Down the inside he goes and up into what will be 3rd position. So a very good move there to get through at the hairpin. Kemensachi tries to fight back, a little bit of touching as well between the two, and into the mix now also comes number 89, which is Eric Staal. So from that second row of the grid, Eric moves himself up now into 4th place to get himself back to where he was towards the start. So Eric Staal on a charge, through he comes, head down, come on, work together, they say, as they go in towards the first corner. Eric Staal now, as we said, sits in 4th place. The next man to try and work his way past is going to be that of Leroy Yagasar, who's done again another superb job to work his way up inside the top 3.
Adam Mateki's made a good start as well, hasn't he? Up into the top 6 in the bright green number 25 cart. He started 13th. Now, he was 10th in the championship before the weekend started. He's got a really good chance of finishing in the top 4 or 5 of the championship, particularly if he gets a good result here. But Finn Keneally, well, he's led everything so far this weekend. He led qualifying. He topped the times in that one. He won all 3 heats yesterday. The first time that he'd been beaten, really, was in that pre-final by Jack McCarthy. But Finn, he's back up front. And to remind you, this is his first season of European competition. And he, you know, before all the controversy, may have been a championship contender. He was a little bit unlucky with an incident, it has to be said, in the last round of the championship at Wackersdorf in Germany. But here he is. He could find himself in the top 3 in the championship. And he's pulling away now from Jack McCarthy. Leroy Yagasar at 3rd, Eric Staal 4th, Teemu Kemensachi 5th, Adam Mateki 6th. There are no changes there. The only one that's changed is Adam Mateki, Jordan Brown Nutley has gained a place a bit further down the order in 8th place. One coming into the pits, and I think that was Tom Gamble, wasn't it, on those wet tyres, who's just decided to call it a day.
Yeah, he needed the wet weather as the race got underway, but that hasn't happened, so Tom Gamble is now out. Good to see Adam Mateki now starting to go well. He's shown forms of good speed previously this weekend, but this is the first time he's actually working his way towards the front. So Adam Mateki, who sits there in the bright green machine, 5th place, trying to make a move possibly on our 4th place man, but can't quite get it done for now. So Adam Mateki sits there, waits patiently. They turn their way towards the final corner, and a move may be coming here to the final corner. Yeah, Adam Mateki goes for it down the inside. Again, a very nice move there. He's going to lose it on the exit though, as back past him and looking over the shoulder comes the number 83 car, no, the 89 car, sorry, that works his way back through there. Eric Staal gets a bit congested in towards turn number 1. Adam Mateki 3 wide, near enough, and they go near enough for a rolling start once more. And unfortunately, Adam Mateki has been the unfortunate one. He's dropped 3 places after trying for that move into the final corner. He gets bumped in towards the hairpin as well, and he rides over the back of another car. He got pushed into that, unfortunately, and Adam Mateki goes for a rotation, and I think it possibly is Teemu Kemensachi as well.
Yeah, Teemu Kemensachi tangled up in all of that, and he's still stuck at the corner with the cart having stalled. So great shame for Teemu. We've been having a really strong weekend up until that point. At the head of the field, the top 2 are in a class of their own. Eric Staal in a strong 3rd place. There you see battles going on just behind there, and a big lap this has become for Glenn Van Berlo, because he started the lap in 9th place. He's going to end the lap in 4th position. Or is he? Because looking down the inside of him there was the number 47 cart of Mark Kimbo's. Had good progress from a lowly grid from the pre-final. And Mark, number 47 there to the inside. 2-3 abreast here. More places will be lost by Glenn Van Berlo. Mark Kimbo will get to the head of that little group. Tremendous scrap for 4th place. Adam Mateki, I'm afraid, is driven into the pit. So that is the end of his race. Obviously some damage that has been suffered there. And they're still wheel to wheel, 5 of them in this battle for 4th place. So the podium positions look settled and sorted at the moment. But beyond that, there's more contact. Contact between 4th and 5th. They get delayed there. And that is number 89 and number 47, isn't it? So it's Mark Kimber and Eric Staal who rubbed wheels there going onto the back straight. It delayed both of them. And it allowed the likes of Lucas Dunner and Scott Simmons to come through, I think, and get ahead of them. So that is all change. Any kind of delay going onto that back straight, you lose your acceleration and you are in trouble. So coming through they are. Jordan Brown Nutley up to 3rd place now, by the way. So Finn Keneally, Jack McCarthy. Jordan Brown Nutley is the one in 3rd place, looking for his first podium. He's had more than his fair share of bad luck over the recent meetings and years, but there he is 3rd. Scott Simmons is 4th at the head of that next group. Then it's then it's Eric Staal, then it's Mark Kimber, Johnny Slavinsky 7th, Jonathan Hoggard's up to 8th, Glenn Van Berlo down to 9th, and Lucas Dunner 10th.
So this is a great battle to feast our eyes on for 4th place. So it's all change towards the head of that one. Scott Simmons, as Chris said, has got his way through. Better lap for him from 8th to 4th. So he now tries to pull away from those 2 behind. After that slight contact down the back straight, they compose themselves very quickly indeed. So you've got Eric Staal there. You've got Mark Kimber now sitting behind in cart number 47. Doesn't try for a move down at the hairpin of turn number 7. So they're all line astern. No jinking as of yet down through this sequence of corners. Brits. And as we know, the top three continue to extend their lead out front with Finn Keneally, Jack McCarthy and Jordan Brown-Nutley, the three Brits up at the head of the field, which is always great to see. So they go through for what will be the 7th time. The next train then head through. 46 leads it, Scott Simmons. And here comes the charge now from Eric Staal. Can he make a move? Yes, he can. He dives for the inside. So does Mark Kimber as well. So just like that, the door is left open and everyone tries to pounce on you at the same time. So both of those have gone through. Scott Simmons now drops down to 6th place and finds the pressure coming from behind once more down into the hairpin at turn number 4. And the man that time to go through is Dzina Slavinsky. But then the fight back comes from the man who's just been passed. This is great racing from these guys, keeping it as clean as ever. They head off the back straight through the chicane, and both now Eric Staal and Mark Kimber have again just been allowed to pull away slightly as they go near enough. 3 wide through the corner, which is never going to work.
Well, what a race this has been so far from Jordan Brown-Nutley. He started at the back of the field, 25th, he's 3rd. It's a bit like Alex Quinn's drive last round at Germany, where he had to come via the second chance seat and got a podium finish. Jordan is catching Jack McCarthy as well, so could he get a second place finish here? The British drivers first, second and third. Then it's Scott Simmons, who was in 4th place to make it the British 1, 2, 3, 4. But Eric Staal, as Matt said, having got that position now, he's taken with him another British driver, though, Mark Kimber. So the Belgian driver in 4th, the British driver in 5th in car number 47. There you can see the pair of them on screen going into the left-hander at turn number 3. They've got something like 2 seconds over the next pair, which is Janis Slavinsky, number 58, who's in 6th place. And he's got Jonathan Hoggard and Glenn Van Berlo right behind him as they go down the back straight. But 2nd and 3rd now, the gap coming right down between those two. Into the left-hander at turn 7 they go. And no change yet, but you sense it's coming. I don't think Jack McCarthy, I would imagine, he's going to fight the position too hard if Jordan Brown-Nutley starts to show his nose. I'd like to finish 2nd rather than 3rd, but the championship here is the main goal. So here comes 4th and 5th, down into the right-hander at the final turn. It's going to be Eric Staal from Mark Kimber just about still. There's a massive tussle going on further down in the top 7 with these drivers that were all battling for 4th place. And we're going to get that change. Oh, yes, we are, for 2nd place into the first corner. Through went Jordan Brown-Nutley, number 17, into 2nd place, Matt, from 25th on the grid.
That is astonishing, isn't it? Jordan Brown-Nutley has done an outstanding job there, and as they came through that time, Jack McCarthy just had a glimpse over his shoulder just to see who in fact was behind him and who he was racing with. So he's happy to let Jordan go for that move and take it away from him, because then if you look back to 4th and 5th, they are still a long way in the distance here, so not really going to be under pressure towards the end of this one is Jack McCarthy. Should be comfortable for 3rd place as these 2nd and 3rd place guys work their way through turn number 8, looking for a change possibly for 4th here between Eric Staal and Mark Kimber. They're working their way on this, the 10th lap of the race now, and what can they do? Can Mark Kimber try anything in cart number 47? Through the right-hander they sweep their way now, but again not quite close enough to make a move. So Mark Kimber sits in the tow, he's going to pick up the tow, he gives a bump as well to Eric as they work their way through the first corner now. Can he dive out? Nope, not yet. It's one of those corners which, as we said, is 2 parts to it, and then of course it's wide on the exit, so you have the chance of making a move to the inside of the next corner. But Mark Kimber just biding his time here. He's not going to try anything as of yet. Maybe towards the last couple of laps he'll try something, because again he's definitely quicker than Eric Staal, who sits there in that 4th place. So
it's not quite the dramatic championship climax we were all hoping for and expecting as neutrals, but we have got a good race on our hands. Not for the lead, because Finn Keneally, as he's been for most of the weekend, he's in a class of his own, and what force he might be to be reckoned with next year if he comes back and does the championship again. But I tell you what, he's going to be most likely 2nd in the championship this year if it stays like this. As he comes out of the final turn of that lap, he's got a huge advantage, almost half the start-finish straight length before we see 2nd and 3rd crossing the line, Brown-Nutley and McCarthy. Then there's this duel for 4th place still raging on between number 89 Eric Staal and having a look at the inside there was Mark Kimber. Got close, half thought about it, but then the door was closed and Eric Staal holds on to the place. There they go through the left-hander at turn number 2, clipping the curbs there for the Belgian driver in 4th position. The podium looks to be out of reach because they're so far back to 2nd and 3rd, but they are at least well clear of the next pair, Janis Slavinsky, Jonathan Hoggard, who are tied together in 6th and 7th positions.
So those two for 4th and 5th places work their way through that back straight corner, down again through the sequence of hairpins they go. Jack McCarthy, after being passed just up the road in third place, is now not really letting the man in second get away there. So Jordan Brown-Nutley and Jack McCarthy second and third. Here's fourth and fifth on our screens, working our way towards the end of this lap. And now there's only going to be 2 to go for the leader as he comes through. Finn Keneally doing a grand old job. In fact, we're going to be on to the last lap of the race now for our race leader. Finn Keneally has only lost one of the races. That was the pre-final where he ended up in second position. But this one, again, he's done a grand old job to get to the front. He hasn't looked back. He's kept those two at a very far distance as well. And as they work their way through, there's 3 battles all going on here. 1 for second, 1 for fourth, and 1 for sixth place. And they all involve 2 carts at the minute. And I think a few of those could change onto this last lap now. Probably the more sufficient one is going to be for fourth place, because again, Mark Kimber looks for a move on Eric Staal. He can't quite get it done at the end of the back straight. So those two stay in the same position, fourth and fifth, as I've got now just a couple of corners to go.
Yep, so last lap of the race. Finn Keneally looking for his maiden Euro Challenge victory. And it has looked like he's driven at the front of the field all his life, this, hasn't he? It's been a superb performance. He's been untouchable. The checkered flag comes out. Finn Keneally wins the race. Second place to Jordan Brown-Nutley, and Jack McCarthy is the 2015 Rotax Max Euro Challenge Junior Champion. He punches the air as he crosses the line. It's third place, but he doesn't care. It is a victory in terms of the championship. Eric Staal fourth, Mark Kimber fifth, Johnny Slavinsky rounding out the top 6. So huge drama in the build-up to this race, for those drivers excluded for cutting the corner when they rejoined. I know one or two of you are asking, well, what if you weren't the reason you went off? What if somebody was the driver that pushed you off? It's still, under my understanding, whether or not it was your fault that you went off the circuit, if you rejoin and cut a corner, it is still a regulation. And some of these regulations are very tough, and there'll be people that think they're unfair, and there will be other people that think they're fair. But if you're consistent and you apply the rule, if you don't apply the rule, other people will complain, I suppose. So it is what it is. The officials have made their decision, and there we can see the results on the screen. None of this has really had anything to do with Finn Keneally, because he's just got on and done his work here, Matt. So a really mixed day, hasn't it, for AIM Motorsport? They've lost their championship contender, Dean McDonald, but they've had a win with Finn Keneally.
That's it, the highs and lows of motorsport as we know it. But Finn Keneally was absolutely delighted as he crossed the line. He punched the air in jubilation. So we'll find out his thoughts very shortly down in Parc Fermé. The man who came home in second place, Jordan Brown-Nutley. And it's nice to see the great camaraderie amongst the drivers as well, because Jack McCarthy and Finn Keneally congratulating each other. One on the championship, and of course one on the race win, the final one for the 2015 championship. So well done to Jack McCarthy. After a hard-fought season for Strawberry Racing, he's taken, of course, a pre-final win and a final win at Salisbury in France. He took the pre-final win earlier today, and he picks up the championship in this final race as well. So well done to Jack on that one. Further back, we had Mark Kimber in fourth.